Hi everyone, and welcome to another edition of First Person, sponsored again by the Crystal Room and the Signature Lounge in Troy on West Market Street, Route 55, across from the Kroger Plaza. Give them a call, 552-7680, and talk to Jessica Brown to schedule your next holiday event or office party, wedding reception, reunion, whatever it is. Their motto is events perfected, and they mean it. Conveniently located, great staff, great facility, and a great location. The Signature Lounge and the Crystal Room in Troy, sponsors of First Person on Press Pros. Joe Neves is my guest this evening this week because as we sit here on the threshold of the 2016 State Football Championships, we no longer do the Friday night picks page for the state semifinal round and the finals this weekend. We do the first 13 weeks. Joe and I authored that page, and we had a couple of people who wrote last week and said, hey, why don't you guys come on and talk about the area teams? Since you guys do the picks page, talk a little bit about the area teams that are in the state finals this week. And coincidentally, those area teams happen to be from the MAC. The MAC, once again. Yeah. And, you know, Joe, we're privileged to have this opportunity to sit down and talk about it because we've got such great relationships with the coaches up there, the communities, the kids, the schools. And of course, to follow them at the state tournament is a privilege.
Yeah, it really is, and it's been a great season. Obviously, for all those teams that are still playing football, a lot of teams in our area had great years. But it's a privilege to be able to go up there to follow them throughout the playoffs. I've had that opportunity to do that this year, and it's been a lot of fun.
I'm always impressed by the number of people from around the state who ask questions about them. Why are they what they are? How do they do this year after year after year? And it's a matter of competition. That the culture certainly lends itself to it, but just the pride and the legacy and the tradition they have all comes together to make it a special time of the year. And here we are again there this year. We're going to talk about the three teams starting in Division 7. We'll start with the Minster Wildcats. I'm going to defer to you a little bit because you've seen them actually 3 or 4 times this year, the 5 times that we've written them. Tell me what impresses you most about Garen Stokes and his football team.
First of all, their toughness. I think that they just have tough kids.
They reflect him.
That reflect him. I mean, it starts with him, works its way down. I mean, you're talking about a group that was 2-4 at one point, and a bad 2-4. And you know, you told me a couple of weeks ago after the Fort Recovery game, we were a bad football team 6 weeks in. They gave up 154 points, losing 4 games in a row, and didn't have a clue. Really didn't have a clue. They were shifting people in and out. They were playing young kids. Just nothing was going right. And then week 7 rolled around. They played Coldwater, and everything fell into place. Every single thing that they had not been doing well, they did well.
It's like the American Revolution.
It's sort of like that, yeah. Everything they had not been doing well, they did well against Coldwater, and everything just kind of clicked into place. Somebody said in the press box at Wildcats Saturday night, something clicked when they beat Coldwater. It was like, if we can beat Coldwater, we can beat anybody on our schedule, and they haven't lost a game since. They're tough kids, they're resilient kids. Saturday night, they're down 2 points with 6 minutes to go in the game. They did not have a first down in the second half. They got the ball on our own 17-yard line and went right down the field and scored the winning touchdown. And their quarterback, Jared Hulsman, told me after the game, he said, we just said execute. We got in the huddle, said execute, do what we do, and it'll work out, and it did.
Obviously, they have Hulsman and a couple other great skilled kids like John Niemeyer and Bryce Schmeezing, who I think is just a tough nut running back. But the thing that I would point to about them, and I've seen them 3 or 4 times in the second half of the season, I've been impressed by how their offensive line play has come of age.
Absolutely.
I saw them in week 3 against Lehman. I didn't think they won that game. I didn't think they were particularly good that night in that respect. And I was shocked when I saw them later in the season. And I think they're big, they're physical. Again, they reflect their coach. And, you know, 8 in a row is
You can't argue with that.
Can't argue with that. Can't argue what they've done since Coldwater.
At this time of the season, and yeah, they've really been in playoff mood. They've been in playoff mode since that Coldwater game.
We'll move up to Division 6, and of course everybody knows the legacy of Marion Local, going for their 5th title in 6 years, or 9th overall in about 16, 17 years. And again, when You talk about Marion local, I don't think there is a team anywhere in America, and especially in Ohio, who has more motivation to go back and atone for the way they lost last year. Tim Goodman said something to me the other night. He says, you know, I can handle losing. Yeah, I don't like to lose, but I can handle it. I just can't handle the way we lost last year.
Yeah, exactly. To be on the verge of scoring, to wrap that game up and then fumble, and then Kirtland goes the length of the field.
98 yards.
Yeah, scores the game-winning touchdown to beat them by 2 points. And that has been motivation all year. But I really like their mindset, because their mindset really has been one game at a time. You know, we're not playing for the state championship this week. First we have to play West Liberty Salem, then we have to play St. Henry, then we have to play Mechanicsburg. We have to prepare for those teams to get to where we want to be.
The thing that impresses me about them, they had a tragic loss of John Dirksen, the right tackle, who they lost to a broken leg for the year in week 3, and how they came back from that. I mean, they're not a perfect football team, and I think Tim would tell you that. But, you know, they're one of those teams that does not collapse when they make a mistake. They have bad things go wrong, they go to the sideline, the next time they come out, that's behind them, and they move on. And I saw them play a pretty good Patrick Henry team the other night, in which Tim said, you know, I got to give it to Patrick Henry. They brought it. They came here to play. And, you know, Patrick Henry did some things against them that other teams maybe exposed a few things. They just took care of it. They went in at halftime, came back out the second half. They made the corrections. He's a great coach, as they have great coaches in that league, and you know they just know how about going about their business.
Yeah, well, I tell you, they're ferocious defensively.
Yeah,
they are ferocious defensively.
Got some people will hit you.
And Jack Homan, that middle linebacker, number 32, he's as good as I've seen in a long time.
Go a few miles west and up 127, you get to Coldwater, and of course that's a neat story because they're going for their 5th consecutive title. No one's done that since St. Ignatius back in the early 90s, and I saw them last night again play a team that was bigger than they are. Wing T team, just pound, 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 pound with 3 or 4 big running backs. They figured it out after the 3rd possession. Went out and put 33 points up on them, won 33-14. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, exactly right. And you know, I've been saying it for a couple of years. Coldwater is Coldwater, and to me, you really don't have to say any more than that. They're well coached. It means so much to those kids. The tradition. This is their 8th straight championship game. It's amazing. And one other thing that really people don't get, these guys do though in the MAC. Brent Niekamp brought it to my attention, the Fort Recovery coach, a couple of weeks ago. He said, when you're having a playoff run, you get extra weeks of practice. Yeah. So a Coldwater senior that's been on the team since he's a freshman, he's had 20 more weeks of practice than the normal kid in his career. That's invaluable.
And I think that's the reason why it's such a big premium. Coaches everywhere put such a big premium on making the playoffs.
Absolutely.
It gives you the equivalent of spring football.
It really does.
In college football,
yeah.
in the high school game. That's what we've got going into this weekend. Again, it's a great privilege for us to be there. There's some significant things at hand. These same 3 teams were there in 2014. They came home with 3 titles. And of course, the work's cut out for you when you get there. There's no surprises now when you show up. Everybody knows that you're from Mercer County or Auglaize County in the case of Minster, and it's going to be a lot of fun to be there. We're privileged to be there and bringing the coverage here on PressProsMagazine.com. That wraps up this edition of First Person for Joe Neves and myself. Again, sponsored by the Crystal Room and the Signature Lounge in Troy. Give them a call. The number again, 552-7680. Jessica Brown is the manager of that facility. Talk to her about scheduling your next event, whether it's something for the holidays, a business event, a wedding reception, whatever. Events Perfected is their motto, and they mean it. Until next time, enjoy the state tournament this weekend. Thanks for your support of what we do here on Press Pros, and we'll see you then with another edition of First Person.